Mobile One.
I was walking around outside today and my truck just kept unlocking over and over again, like somebody kept hitting the button. I narrowed it down to not be in the truck and just be in the remote by taking it apart. I also checked with the other remote, it wasn't a big deal. And then I just lightly tap it, even on the side here, and it just kept unlocking the truck. So I'm gonna show you guys how to fix that. This has actually happened before. This is a common problem on Ram, Jeep, Chrysler, Mercedes-Benz. So this is on my 14 Ram. So when you pull the key out, you'll look and there'll be a little screw on the very end. It might be full of dust, it might be hard to see, but it's in there. You'll want to pull that out first. I'm just using an eyeglass screwdriver. So you'll set those down. Next thing you want to do is get a pencil, and I use a pocket knife, but you can use just whatever floats your boat. I like to start at the back where the screw is, because usually that's the easiest. Just wiggle it, be gentle. If you're too rough on it and just pull it apart like that without wiggling or peeling or doing something of that nature, you risk breaking this case. Next, you just grab it by the rubber part, pull it out. So where the failure happens is in the rubber, but it also happens here. You can see how dirty those contacts are. So we're gonna clean those while we're in there. But the main thing I wanna draw your attention is right here. If you look at these little contact pads, here, here, and here, so those contact pads have to be in place to be able to complete the circuit on this. So when you mash these down, it connects this side to this side. You can see that these are really dirty. The best way to clean those, I actually learned this from doing model railroading. If you use just a pencil eraser, don't use one that's too old, or else it'll just not do as good a job. But if you use a nice soft pencil eraser, these will clean up really, really well. If you find that you push a button or mash on the button, it doesn't work very good. Sometimes this will fix it, correct it. Pretty much everything that has a button's gotten dirty. This was really dirty when I first opened it up too. And I thought, man, this is happening so often, I should do a video on it. But when you look at this, you can see this button did the same thing before. And you can see I've got different glue and it's just happy to stay put. It's nice and flexible. Actually going to do a little spin on that too. If it does come off, now would be a great time if it's going to happen in the next little while anyway. There we go. So there's one of the buttons, there's another one of the buttons. So we're going to do Permatex Right stuff to glue these back on. So that's going to turn that inside out and clean this off a little bit. It looks terrible. It looks about as bad as my thumbnail does. You can tell it's just a metal coin. So it's got these little barriers that are supposed to catch it. Supposed to. Any flexible adhesive should get you back in business. I just like Permatex Right stuff because I use it for everything. It's really flexible and it's got a high bond. It's tough too, it's chewy. Another thing that's nice to do, I've already done this one, is clean all the fibbage out. Fibbage is stuff that gets in your jewelry, your ring, your watch, whatever. It just comes from life in general. It's just a garbage. So if you take compressed air or a can of air like you use on a computer, you can go through and just clean everything out. If it doesn't come off with the can of air, sometimes you take your paper towel, a Kleenex, and a fingernail and just run those down the side of it. And that'll work pretty good too, as you can see. Take this, put it inside of here first, get it nice and seated down in there, then put this in. Just lay it in a little bit one side and then the other. Make sure that you're nice and flat, and then I put the front together first. And again, I'm just using an eyeglass screwdriver, no big deal. You don't want to overdo it and strip it or it'll be hard the next time. Ta-da! I don't know exactly why they fail, but they sure do. Speaking of fail, look how dingy that's getting to look. These are both factory fobs, you can tell because it has a Ram emblem on the back. If anybody knows any tricks to clean that back up and get it back to white, let me know. I'm thinking about using bleach or something. Here at lock, and we're fixed.
Bonus footage at the end.
Climbing.
like that.